Do you know what, guys? I have seen some pretty horrific car crashes in my time in terms of interviews, press conferences, etc. I've seen some what the moments and I've seen some head in hand moments. I've watched that press conference that Arne Slot gave yesterday about 4 times now. I don't know why I put myself through it, but to say car crash, to say deluded fool, to say fraud, to say bullshit merchant, to say absolutely full of shite, I think is doing him a favour. Because honestly, you watch and you listen to what came out of his mouth in that press conference yesterday, quietening the noise, blaming the fans for things. A disunity, I think, between him and the fans and him and the club to some degree. Almost begging, people to sack him. I think, genuinely, honestly, the guy has lost it. He has absolutely lost the fucking plot, big time. Sorry for swearing, but this man is a fraud. He is an absolute fraud. He sits there and he complains about squad size and not having enough players, yet he was the one at the start of the season that said that he didn't want a big squad, that he doesn't like disappointing lots of players, that he said the squad was fine, it was big enough as it was. He was the one that said the 6 attackers we had, that only 4 of which that he'll use are enough. He's the one that sat there and said we had enough depth at centre-back. He's the one that sat there and said this. Then he comes out and whinges and moans about it, about not having the numbers, about the players being tired, about injuries because the players are tired, about the same players having to constantly play 90 minutes. Well, that's your fault, Arne. That's on you, mate. He sits there and he bullshits about money, about the fact that Liverpool have just announced record turnovers, and yet apparently we haven't got any money for buying players. Is that what he's saying? Is that what Richard Hughes is saying? I don't know. But honestly, the crap that comes out of this guy's mouth is just unbloody believable. I mean, little stats for you guys. Little stats for you. In the first 45 games with Arne Slot in charge of this team, we had a pretty decent win ratio. It was 75.6%. In the last 45 games, he's had 90 games in charge. His win percentage has been 46.7%. Not acceptable for a Liverpool manager by any stretch of the imagination. And as I said, he sits there in a press conference and he comes out with stuff where you genuinely sit there and think, you should have written this down, Arne, shown someone and asked them, is this okay to say? Because honestly, it's just beggars fucking belief what he comes out with at times. It really genuinely does. And we'll talk a little bit about injuries, of course, and what's going on with that. But he genuinely just leaves me just astounded. I mean, this comment here, I think in between the boxes we are a very, very, very good team. No, we're not, Arne, because we get taken out with one ball through our midfield. The very, very good team in the middle of the field, Arne, that allowed Bournemouth players to run 60, 70 yards in that game, untouched for at least 2 of the goals, Arne. Absolutely talking crapwards. We play out from the back, the way we bring the ball towards promising positions, the box entries we have. No, we don't. We faff around with the ball at the box. We waste time with it. We overplay at the back. 11 passing actions at the back as opposed to 8 last season, Arne. So we're overplaying. I mean, honestly, he just literally leaves me astounded. And then we have this quote here. At Liverpool, the aim is to win the league. Absolutely. 100% agree, Arne. Well done. But we've only done that twice in 30 years. Now, that's changed from twice in 5 years to twice in 30 years. I know what is acceptable for us this season. So is he saying that because we've only won it twice in 30 years, that averages at 1 every 15 years, that the acceptable is not, it's acceptable not to win the league this season, it's acceptable to finish, to battle for fourth. You're starting to sound a little bit like Arsene Wenger, Arne, from that aspect, that, it's not about winning the league, it's just about finishing fourth, it's just about finishing in the Champions League, and even that, Arne, had a little bit of a moan about, didn't you, when you talked about PSG. I mean, Jesus, that man loves PSG. I'm sure Luis Enrique will be getting a restraining order taken out against Arne Slot very, very soon on that one. But this is just Mickey Mouse comments. Mickey Mouse comments from a Mickey Mouse manager. It really genuinely is awful. Have to play in both competitions. Too many times after Champions League games we have lost. There's a lot of away games in there. Well, Arna, you're at Liverpool, so you are going to play in a lot of competitions because the aim at Liverpool, Arna, is to win all 4 competitions. The aim is not just to win one competition. The aim is not just to do well in one competition and sack off every other competition. The aim is to progress in the Champions League, to win the league, to do well in both competitions, Arna. So why is it a struggle we have to play in both competitions? Because that's what this football club is about. And if you can't cope with that, the door is there. Take it, leave. Let's bring someone in who can cope with that, Arna. But this comment here just absolutely beggars belief for me. Absolutely beggars fucking belief that he genuinely sees playing in the Champions League as a trial, as a pain in the backside. You know, well, Arna, go and join Zwolle, go and join Nijmegen, go and join Wolves, go and join a little club where you're not going to have to play in the Champions League, go and join Coventry City, someone like that, you know, who are shit and small. Go and do that, you know, do that for me, Arna, please. But, you know, look, he's kind of moaning about squad size to some degree in this one as well, but that's him. As I've said at the start of this video, he was the one who wanted a small squad. He was the one who doesn't want too many players. So that's on him. That's purely on him. Then we've got this. What I mean is that with results are not what we want and we get scrutinised. We are all scrutinised and we get the criticism that we deserve. Okay, fair enough. But usually if you get too much criticism, that does something to you mentally. And then if you have to play so many more minutes, I give you multiple examples of players then getting injured. Right, so it's now the fault of the fans because we're criticising the players are getting injured. It's not the fault that you wanted a small squad and you're having to overplay the players that's getting them injured. It's not your tactics. No, it's the fans. It's all on the fans. It's because we're criticising his little darlings, particularly obviously Cody Gakpo, his son, that they're getting injured. Really? Honestly? You believe that because we criticise the performances of the players and your performance as a manager, your players are getting injured because it's hurting their feelings? I mean, honestly, seriously, did nobody sit down with him and say, you can't say that, you'll look stupid? Honestly. I mean, genuinely, that comment blows my mind. Genuinely blows my mind. So that's why I have so much respect for my players, that within the circumstances that we are in, they are constantly available, except for 2 or 3 or 4 long-term injuries that we have. Wow. I mean, genuinely, wow. Honestly. Those comments, and that's just a sample of what he said yesterday. And this quieten the noise, the outside noise. It's not outside noise, Arna. It's Liverpool fans. Liverpool fans are not outside noise. The club is nothing without the fans. You are nothing without the fans. The team is nothing without the fans. So for you to sit there and say it's outside noise and we have to quieten it down and it needs to stop, etc., is absolutely pathetic. It genuinely shows you have no concept or understanding of the club or what you're doing. Genuinely, this man is just... I mean, how we can still be in a situation where he still is in a job when we are 14 points behind Arsenal, 10 points behind Manchester City and Aston Villa, 6th place. In danger, I honestly think Liverpool finished 6th or 7th this season. Manchester United on an upward trend. They've beaten Arsenal, they've beaten Man City. They're actually looking like a decent football team, unfortunately, again, under Michael Carrick. Chelsea on an upward trend under their new manager. Liverpool on a downward trend under a manager who is a fraud. A manager who won the league thanks to another manager last season. He got the legacy of Jurgen Klopp. Now, I'm not saying it was totally Klopp last season, but it was Klopp's squad, it was Klopp's players, Klopp's tactics, because the tactics have changed. They have changed from last season. If you don't believe me, go and watch a couple of games, compare the games this season to last season. We're 20 points worse off this season than we were last season at this point. So it is different, Arna, and it's on you, solely on you. Let's look at this. Tonight, there is obviously going to be a centre-back crisis against Karabag. Obviously, Ibu Konate, fair enough, he is out. His dad died, and I get that. You know, family comes first. You know, I lost my mum in May. It's an awful situation to lose a parent, and obviously I have massive sympathy with Ibu and his family, and obviously I hope that Ibu and his family can find some comfort somewhere. Now, Joe Gomez is obviously out injured. We don't know the extent of that injury. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. Arna said hopefully not a long time. But you never know with Joe Gomez. It is Joe Gomez after all. Anything is possible. So we have basically now got one centre-back. And apparently we don't need any more centre-backs, according to Arna or the club. We're fine. We're going to come out this January transfer window with no signings because we have enough centre-backs. Leone gone for the season. Gomez injury-prone. Ibu, who knows when he's back. Virgil getting older. Has to play 90 minutes every week now. Yeah, great. Great, Arna. Wonderful. Well done. Spot on, mate. Brilliant. So this means we have three options, I think, tonight at centre-back. We've got Wataru Endo. We've got Ryan Gravenberch. We've got Andy Robertson. I mean, let's start with Gravenberch. If we put Gravenberch in at centre-back, it substantially weakens that midfield. Where is the six then? Where is the guy who's going to sit and be the protector of that back four if you put Gravenberch into that back? McAllister, not really a six. Jones, not really a six. Endo, he's not going to play Endo at six if he doesn't want to play him at centre-half. So that, for me, is an absolute non-starter. Robbo, I love Robbo to bits, but he ain't a centre-half. He ain't big enough, he ain't strong enough, he ain't a centre-half. He's just not. Last year against PSV, he played there and was pretty poor. Aerially, they'll exploit that. They are a direct team. Not a good move. Endo at centre-back. I mean, he played there against Bournemouth on Saturday, but he was pretty poor. He gave the ball away a lot. He fell over a lot. I'll be honest with you. Endo wouldn't get a game for most championship teams at centre-back. So that's our options. And doesn't that just say everything about where we are as a club at this moment in time? We don't have enough centre-backs. We don't have enough depth there. There's not enough players there. It's an embarrassment that a club as big as Liverpool don't have a squad to cope with this, don't have players, and are not going out and replacing them. Man City, injury crisis in at centre-back. Go out and buy Mark Gahey. That's what big clubs do. That's what big clubs do. That's what serious clubs do. We don't. I don't know why. Don't get it. Don't get it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Look, I've got to say, that press conference yesterday should have been enough to get him sacked. Full stop. It was embarrassing. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching the Liverpool FC Journal. As always, guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one.